Gordon.
Hey, this is Lobster Magnet again here with my buddy Greg Gorogregoro.
Yep.
We are here to discuss episode 5 of the second season of Attack on Titan on this wonderful review channel. So, Greg, what did you think of the big reveals of this episode?
I mean, I sort of knew already that Ymir was a Titan.
Well, all right, so that wasn't so much a reveal,
Yeah.
but you get to see her ugly, horribly deformed little midget Titan in all its terrible, ugly glory.
She was doing some crazy acrobatics and fighting pretty well on her own, but I guess there were a few things that had me questioning some things.
As whatchamacallit, superior race manga reader, Shingeki no Kyojin has also been one of those titles that I saw when it was in its infancy, and then I watched it grow into becoming a worldwide phenomenon. So that way I can sort of give myself undue credit for finding it first and being the original nerd and being God, I love doing that. It's
I'm the original nerd.
Yeah, I'm the guy who found it first. I found it first, cool. I'm the ultimate hipster. It's the only thing that gives me power and possession aside from having better taste than you.
Exactly.
One of the very few things I can feel unwarrantedly superior over other people, and no one can take it away from
That
me.
and Boku no Hero.
Yeah, that's another one of my babies. Promised Neverland, though, that's another one that
Oh my god, that's gonna be so good when that's animated. Hopefully.
Okay, yeah. We'll get into that into another video, but that's another one that I think is going to become a worldwide phenomenon. It's going to hit like a thunderbolt as long as the right studio gets to it.
Yeah.
It just we'll cover it in another video. We'll probably do a chapter review of Promised Neverland. But back to the amazing My Hero, not My Hero, Shingeki no Kyojin. So go on, Greg. You had some questions.
So yeah, there's the questions of the blonde guy, the tall blonde guy, and the tall black-haired guy. They said that they saw that midget Titan in the past that ate one of their family members or something.
Yes, it did.
So that's one question, and then another thing is the mystery behind Christy is this episode was very confusing a little bit about Christie's or I guess I should call her Historia's origins.
You learn her real name, the emotionally cathartic moment where her name is unveiled, and then that gives Ymir the ability to fight more, and then we cheer.
You could tell that her character's very significant to learning the history of Attack on Titan.
Very significant names, yeah. Well, Greg, I forget, you didn't care about Attack on Titan spoilers, right?
No, I didn't.
Since I personally don't give a fuck about spoilers, and I'm a manga master race, I always believe that if you really want to enjoy something, you need to experience the core media of whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I'll give something without spoiling away too much. Okay. Basically, later on, we learn that there's a royal family that's running the walls in their society, and that she's the bastard daughter of that royal family.
Oh, okay.
So that's why she's we're getting this who the hell is this girl? Why is she so significant? She's just a cute character design. Oh my god, wait. And, she becomes much more important in the arc that comes after this one.
Okay, so this is kind of interesting with Attack on Titan. They're sort of defining, they're setting up all this class struggle within their society. And,
a little bit. It's going a little bit more from class struggle. I mean, the class thing wasn't that really in depth. It was very basic, oh, I'm rich guy. I don't care about the stupid poor people. Let them get by your titans. Blah 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 blah. Mm. To say it was a horribly complex class text in Attack on Titan.
But there's already something established from the very beginning. It's the outer wall people are probably the poorest, and then the inner wall are the next poorest. Or the middle class, and the inside and the core wall people are the richest and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there is a little bit of a class dynamic. It's nothing horribly complex, but it is there. And well, in the arc after this one, there's like which we probably won't get to see. That's another thing I'm kind of disappointed in. Is like Attack on Titan is like the biggest manga anime hit in the past 10 years. Like it's this all-encompassing thing. Like we see like Survey Corps cosplayers at every fucking con you go to. I'm amazed they held on as strongly without such a drought of content. But only now are we getting the second season, and the second season is only 12 episodes. And I know, and now that as the season is taking its shape, I know exactly where it's going to end. And
you know exactly where it's going to end.
Yeah. I can tell with how they're pacing it.
Is it like a really, really fast paced right now that they're doing?
Yeah, no, it's a good pace. It's a really good pace. They're doing because the thing to know about the Attack on Titan manga is that each chapter, it's like a monthly series and a monthly publication. So each chapter is like 40 to 46 pages long.
Okay. Yep.
So you get more content per chapter, but the story moves a little bit slower, especially when there's like a flashback or there was one chapter where it was like that whatchamacallit, that stupid snow flashback, which actually was better in the anime than I liked it better than the manga. Took up more content in the like half of the chapter than it did in the anime. It was nice to see them kind of blaze through it.
That's good. I don't know, I don't know if we should go into that much backstory about these two characters, especially if one of them is going to die towards the end of the episode.
Well, you don't know that.
I mean, she does look like she's about to die, but
Titan powers, man. Titan powers is some great, some scary shit.
Can they heal and stuff super quickly? Did Eren do that?
I feel like he did a few times in the first season, but yeah, that's like one of the benefits is that they can heal really quickly.
Okay.
Ymir has a really interesting backstory. We won't learn it this season. They won't cover it. They'll just give a lot of vague. Although I must say, though, I'm enjoying seeing this and having better context as opposed to just vague shit that didn't make any sense when you're reading in the manga.
This is very vague for me. So you're saying because you know the story from the manga, you can appreciate this whole episode better? Yeah,
because there's a lot of context in terms of what is the deal with the Titan eating the thing and then Ymir getting it? What is the deal with Bertolt and Rainer and their past? What is the greater context of this world and Ymir within that world? And she actually has a very interesting backstory that's tied to the larger truth of the universe.
Yes, everyone's a Titan.
The basement reveal, the great basement reveal that explains everything.
Oh, she tied in with the basement reveal?
Yeah, to a degree, to a strong degree, she's infinitely tied to the basement. But I think what we're going to be seeing is we're going to see even the con I went to this past Sunday. There was a cosplayer with Historia and Ymir, and they were a little lesbian couple, and they were having fun.
Nice.
And because she was a part of the royal family, she was wearing a crown and a robe, and I feel like that now that's because what I find really funny about the Attack on Titan manga is everything, and I guess you could say it happens with a lot of things. People are too impatient to read the manga, or they don't care. They just want to see it presented with the awesome music, the great animation. So very little of the iconography of the later manga chapters gone into the fandom. Because think about it, you'll see a cosplay of the female Titan, Eren's Titan, the armored Titan, the colossal Titan, but you have not seen cosplay of Ymir's Titan, for an example.
Because it's not mainstream yet, or
yeah, it hasn't been animated, and the main fan base, 80% of it doesn't give a shit to read the manga.
Also, but she's becomes a very important character, I guess, right?
A stronger supporting character, and her backstory is very much tied into the larger mythos. So, although we'll learn some interesting details about her in this month's chapter.
The next coming episodes?
No, well, I meant in the actual manga chapter that released yesterday.
Oh, okay. So there's gonna be, okay. So in other words, you're saying she will live on, essentially.
For a little bit, yeah.
Maybe within the YouTube video, you'll be like, you should type in, obviously, like, spoiler alert, you know.
Maybe. I don't know. I already said that, like, I don't give a shit about spoilers. I believe in full context.
Oh, I know, but like in the title of the YouTube video, in case
all right,
someone...
fine. Spoiler discussion.
Yes. Yeah, something like that.
That's not a terrible idea. But you know, we got that through that flashback, and then we got the awesome action sequence where she's flying around, biting necks off of shit, which was really well paced.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest appeals about Attack on Titan is just like the world building and also the whole mystery behind the Titans and everything.
Yeah, well, it's like what are these giant people eater things, and where do they come from? How do they work? And that's what kept me reading, despite some of the stuff that I kind of thought was dumb. Because there's a great mystery, and I wanted to know. And one thing I actually was pleased with is that, like, once they finally reveal the curtain, the funny thing is I told you the whole thing, but because you're Greg and you're absent-minded, you forgot it all by now.
the curtain, like, wait, which curtain? The thing at the end of each episode in the preview?
Well, I told you that, and then I, like, had you sit down and, like, read, like, the big chapter they revealed in the basement. And you were like, what?
About how these people were like sort of like Jews.
It's spoilers, but some Jew stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they were like prosecuted like Jews in Nazi Germany and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was like
I remember that actually. I remember a lot of that.
Such a crazy batshit reveal that that sold me definitely. I have no idea where the hell the manga's going from there on, but it needed a big reveal, and that was as good of a payoff as you could have asked for.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, God, I remember ages ago there was this like thing where it was like, oh, Attack on Titan editor spoils the manga, and it was like a really dumb spoiler. Like, there was this evil scientist who developed the Titan formula, and he had this little tribe outside of the wall, and he somehow turned everyone into Titans, and he wanted to get the powers back so he could control everything. And I was like, I hope that isn't it. I hope that just feels dumb.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to talk about also was I remember reading some of the manga for Attack on Titan and looking at the art style. It doesn't impress me that much at all.
No, he's a miserable artist. I think he's a really substandard artist. He's out of like all the professional mangaka, he's not really good.
It reminds me of whatchamacallit, Kaji the Apocalyptic Gambler, where once it becomes animated,
better as the series has gone. It's definitely improved significantly, but like, oh man, if you ever track down the pilot chapter, ooh. He's not a weak artist. He's not a strong artist. But he's always very self-righteous and very angry, and that appeals to the young people of the world.
Yeah, but I like about this series is like is obviously a more talented artist, like translating like the cruder drawings from the other manga,
like with Studio and Tetsuo Araki's direction and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's definitely an example of like an anime adaptation, like taking just pumping it up to 11.
Yeah, and like probably a better understanding of like human anatomy and how to draw backgrounds better and whatnot, and just like high levels of production, but like they'll still keep some of the similar kinds of facial art styles and stuff like that of some of the characters probably. And to me it's just kind of interesting how they translate art styles like that, because they did something similar with One Punch Man. When that was
that's like a completely different studio. One Punch Man's production is very unique in the fact that like there was the original very shitty looking webcomic that was remade by the iShield 21 artist.
Yep.
And that has basically been adapted by Madhouse, which is like a beloved studio. I think it's Madhouse. I'm pretty sure it's Madhouse, into the anime that everyone loves.
Well, I guess it was like it was first adapted as from a webcomic into another manga. So I guess it's different in that way.
but it is something sort of a weird uprising where it, like, goes to shitty to looking amazing to looking like really amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
But Greg, are you enjoying all these like the B team? We haven't gotten any very little Aaron, Mikasa, or Armin action. We're just seeing like the B squad players.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm wondering how they play into the whole storyline of the rest of the series, because it seems like Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin are still like the main players. Like the other characters don't feel like that significant to me right now.
Mostly they aren't. And honestly, I think the mangaka guy could afford to kill them all, kill a few of them off. Like one of the things I think why Attack on Titan has been like such a huge success is it's a really mean series.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that always sold me on it initially was like I love the fact that in the beginning it's like, all right, I'm gonna kill all the Titans. I'm gonna be the best Titan Slayer ever.
It's like Gantz. So awesome. In some ways, it's like Gantz. Like Gantz used to be in the sort of beginning, where it's like you think like, oh, this is such a cool character, and then they kill him off right away. It's just like does absolutely nothing.
It's a little more subdued than Gantz, but like the fact that like Aaron was like built up as like, oh my god, I'm gonna be the best, and then even though the text of the manga keeps on reinforcing that like. I don't know. Even if you got your Spider-Man gear, that's not going to be very good. It's not going to like really help you out that much.
Yeah. I think Aaron got like his arms and legs eaten off, and he got swallowed up by a Titan. So there is regeneration powers with Titans.
Yep. So they can. So that's why you shouldn't worry too much about everyone's favorite new lesbian overlord. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit? Aaron, after all, is like blustering when he's finally put into combat. What's the first thing that happens? He gets eaten by a Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. I think we could,
I was like expecting man, I did not expect Aaron to die off or quote unquote die off that quickly. He just it was like such a Gantz moment where it's like, oh fuck, this is serious shit's going down. The main character just fucking died.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. That like won so much goodwill for me. Like that he just like after all his bluster, he can't do shit and he gets eaten.
Yeah.
That was the best.
And the way they revived his character back too, it wasn't like that terrible either, and it also added more mystery to the whole series.
It was a little bullshitty, but given how it's like applied to like everything else in the series, I guess you can sort of like wave it away.
Yeah, because it's added more mystery to like the Titans as well, but I guess you sort of feel like. Okay, yeah, they probably shouldn't kill off this character right away anyway. Plot reasons. Plot.
Well, I think you could kill, like, the little midget kid Connie. You could kill him off, and it wouldn't affect anything.
Yeah.
He's just goofy support. You could kill Potato Girl. You could kill Arrogant Gene.
You could kill Historia?
A few side characters. You could kill off more than a few. Although, you know who my favorite character is, though?
Who is that?
Never gets any respect. Motherfucking Irwin, the commander of the Survey Corps.
Oh, the blonde-haired Survey Corps guy.
Yeah, like... I guess he does have blonde hair, yeah. Like, the command... Like, he's sort of like... I think what I love about him and sort of characters, that archetype, is just sort of like, extremists who are willing to go to any lengths to accomplish their mission. Even if it's like, sacrificing his troops, and there's such a badass scene coming up really soon where he like makes a personal sacrifice, but he's like, I don't care, go on with the mission.
What's the other? What's the black haired guy's name again?
Which one?
In the Survey Corps.
Oh, there's a lot of fucking.
He had his own animated short thing.
Oh, Levi.
Levi, yeah. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I know who's. He's the badass one that everyone loves to, do fan art and dress up, and despite the fact he's supposed to be kind of creepy, for some reason became like an international anime sex icon.
Well, that's anime for you.
Yeah. It's a weird fandom.
I mean, it's basically sort of looks like Sasuke, right? In some weird way.
Yes.
He's just like a Attack on Titan Sasuke.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. His face is always so dark, and he always looks so broody. And maybe that's why.
You described everything about Sasuke.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like Sasuke's a little designed to be a little more inviting and smexier than Levi. I don't quite have the artistic vocabulary to articulate why I think that is. But it's just the sort of like feeling I get. But you sort of become like the Loki of the anime world, where like Loki's supposed to be this like skeevy, mischievous character who's kind of like smarmy and sweaty and pale and creepy and awful. But girls love him. Oh my god, Loki's so sexy. He's the sexiest thing ever.
Like Loki from the Marvel Universe?
Yeah, it's Loki from the Marvel Universe.
Okay. I mean, I don't really see that, but...
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know about that.
He's like a huge sex icon, Greg. He's like fangirls love Loki.
I didn't even know that. I thought it would be like for Thor,
That's what the conventional wisdom would be, but people just go look up fan art, man. Go look up, cosplayers. Loki is like a sex icon, and there are even videos and essays about it. Like, why is Loki so appealing?
Yeah,
and that's because the geek girl, the aesthetic, they don't necessarily like the traditional masculinity of like Thor with his super muscles, and they like the sleek, and they like the fact that like Wabi. Have you ever heard of the term the Wabi?
The Wabi?
Yeah, it's like basically a character gets beat up upon a lot and then engenders sympathy from the audience.
Yeah, okay.
Loki's a Wabi. I don't think Attack on Titan has any Wabis. But you enjoying the fact, steering away from the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
We'll see that conversation to another time. You enjoying all the reveal that everyone's a Titan?
Yeah, I'm wondering how many more people can become Titans before the whole idea of it becomes a little bit tiring. Like, okay, there was Eren. Now there's the female Titan. I forget what her name was. Now there's Ymir.
You want to know a fun fact?
What?
We still haven't seen Annie and make a reappearance in the manga yet. It's been like 60 plus chapters.
And you haven't seen what?
We haven't seen Annie since that big scene in the first season.
Oh yeah, she's still like in a crystal.
We don't know. We haven't even seen the crystal. Assumingly, yes, but we have no fucking clue what's happening to her.
Okay, that's strange.
Yeah, I kind of wonder when we'll learn about her or see her again.
Maybe her character isn't like too crazy important.
Maybe Hishama forgot about her. We'll have to see. I mean, the virtue that she's a Titan. Although you want me to give you like a spoiler thing about all the Titan shifters?
Sure.
There are 9, and there can only be 9.
Oh, there can only be 9? Interesting. So 9. And then that, I imagine, includes Eren.
Yep.
So we've already met 3. So there's 6 more.
4, technically. Because Eren's 1, Colossal's 1, Armored is 3, Female is 4, and
Ymir is 5.
Yeah, and the Beast Titan is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 more after that.
Yeah, there are 3 more to be introduced later on at some point.
Oh, that's interesting. So I guess there
is a rule system. It's not just like I'm a Titan now, yeah.
But some Titans, I think, are able to transform normal people into Titans, but not like in the way that they can transform back and forth between Titans.
Well, I can go into a little bit about that without spoiling too much, like because we learned about the Beast Titans thing.
Yeah.
That the Beast Titan. There's 2 types of Titans. There's the pure Titans, which are basically like zombie, the mindless zombies that we all know and love and like to see in action sequences. Then there are the Titan shifters. Mm-hmm. And there's a special reason why the Beast Titan is able to transform people into pure Titans. Which ties into the royal bloodline for some reason. Which also ties into Christa.
Okay. This is it's a little bit confusing still, but it's giving me a sort of clearer picture, a little bit of what's going on.
Well, there's some ridiculous things that, like, oh man, when we get to it, like, you'll just hear me go off because, like, there's just some things I think are kind of dumb, that are brought up, and I'm like, that sounds stupid. I hope that's not true. Oh, it is true. Oh God, that doesn't make any sense. But what do you think about the mystery about Raynor and him, his little child being eaten by the, Ymir's Titan?
Wait, his child was eaten? I thought it was like
his friend. I meant like his childhood friend.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic we gotta look into. We've got to figure out why she would even do that.
You'll get a payoff to that later on. Okay. Very soon, you'll get like a little bit of a payoff in the next episode. The next episode is going to be a big one. People are going to be going apeshit.
We should just, for the title of this YouTube video, just like say major spoilers from the manga, like in the title of the YouTube video, because like people are going to look at spoilers and like, oh, they're just going to spoil the episode that they just watched, but in reality, you're like spoiling like all the storyline that you've read through the manga as well.
I believe about context. Like, there are very few things that, like, I feel like are worth being experienced in context. In fact, they've done studies, Greg. They've done studies. Spoilers do not ruin people's enjoyment of stories.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's true. But still, people will get upset when they come into something and then they're expecting one thing and then they get a completely different other thing where it's like, oh my God,
come at me, I'm Beast Titan. Spoilers, raw, King Kong.
Just like, I want to make sure that people just don't go into the video and be like, I fucking will never watch your shit again. You spoiled the whole series for me, revealing, the shit about
hey, I've just given hints.
The Titans and whatnot.
Hints to like make them wonder, and I think that's better than like knowing the end, because it's gonna end and nothing's gonna be resolved. Because I'm gonna tell you what, it's ending. They're not gonna be any closer to that fucking basement. They're not gonna be any closer to like learning the bigger secrets of the world. Because I know exactly what's gonna end. It's gonna end in the most anticlimactic point in the story, and you're just gonna feel like what the fuck was the point of that?
It's gonna end in the most anticlimactic part.
Oh yeah. It's not ending at a good point.
But wait. I thought you would want the second season to end with like in a good way.
It'll end in a kind of okay way, but like there's still going to be a lot of mysteries that aren't really explained and a lot of questions that don't make sense. Mm-hmm. Oh man, like the manga recently had like a really good end point for like the perfect place to end the season, a season of anime, mm-hmm. where basically like they've given a huge payoff in terms of like revealing the core mythology, letting you know about how things work and explaining things in greater detail. The conflicts have been resolved, but a larger conflict still looms on for the eventual story to continue. That would have been the perfect point to end it. But of course, we're only getting 13 episodes. What I'm really hoping is that like now that there's like a decent amount of manga material, that maybe like in 6 months or 8 months we'll get like another 13 episode season, and maybe that's the plan.
Oh yeah, maybe, because this is going to be a shorter season, so maybe they're just going to do another season like quickly after.
Well, I feel like production companies have become a lot wiser that like not to do like anime original material to stuff that's like really beloved and has a huge fan base. It's become like stigmatized within the community, and they're like avoiding it at all costs, which is why
no filler.
Yeah, no filler.
I really appreciate that. After dealing with 2 years plus of Naruto filler, it's just like it was a freaking nightmare. It ruined the whole series for me.
Oh yeah.
At least the whole anime.
The Naruto and Bleach filler is like some of the worst shit. It's like really highly produced fiction that's always universally terrible.
Yeah.
It's always bad. It's always bad. Even if like it's like things that are seen like God, like in Bleach they had a filler arc where they like showed off what like the other forms of all the Captain Zanpakutos look like, and even that was pretty shitty.
Dude. It was even made by the guy who, I mean, it was like approved by the guy who did Bleach. He wrote the story, right?
That Kubo supposedly like actually like gave the approval for those designs, which made it feel a little bit more legitimate, but it still felt like a huge waste of time.
Yeah.
Eventually those designs like and it sort of made me feel like, oh wow, maybe there was a good reason not to like show off everyone's sword. It would just feel lame.
Yeah. God, there's something I want to talk to you about. I feel like it's like really off topic, but like I remember this guy from the stream that I stream on, and he's like saying something like, sometimes the anime dub is better than the sub, you know, it's like every now and then. And my argument to that is like it was originally animated to be on pace with like saying things in Japanese, not in English.
Well, I think what he means is like stuff like, you know, you could argue that like, you know, something like Cowboy Bebop, which is so much Western influence that like, you know, the dub in that is fantastic, and you know everyone loves that.
Okay.
Like I really like the Hellsing Ultimate dub, and you could say that like, you know, the English dub is you know, better on that because they've got like, you know, authentic British or Irish accents that kind of helps the thing feel a little bit more culturally, you know, succinct. And you can make that argument that, like, you know, with certain series, but it all depends on the context of the series. If it's something that has like a lot of Western influences, then yeah, maybe it's nice to hear Western voices.
Okay, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I guess that's a good point.
Well, you know what's pretty insane though? Like already, like the English dub for fucking Attack on Titan season 2 is airing.
Really?
Yeah, like it's amazing. Like, you know, originally it'd be like, you know, 4 or 8 months to license the episodes, and another 4 months for like the audio production. But now we live in a world where like, you know, this thing is like streaming like, you know, same day Japan, and like, you know,
maybe it's because they've been preparing for so long, like for the second season. Like they were just like, we're ready to go when you are. Or something.
Like I think My Hero Academia also is like a whatchamacallit, English dub that's like running simultaneously. I just think you know, companies like Funimation have upped their game so high that you know they're able to like do simultaneous releases, and I think it's insane because anime is interesting in the sense that like, you know, no matter where you go, it's always like sort of a semi-insulated audience. I don't think it'll ever go mainstream, but cumulatively, you know, it's like this thing that appeals to like a global, worldwide audience. Mm-hmm. It's like a massive worldwide audience that just continues to propagate it. You know, we're a bit older than the average YouTuber, you know, because like if you go around seeing people doing these sort of video reviews, there'll be like early 20-somethings, and like even the more successful YouTubers are like, you know, mid-20s, while you and me are in our 30s and have usually failed at life, but because of our failure and our age, though, it gives us perspective. And I think it's interesting that, like, when you go to a con, you sort of see, like, what feels like the same sort of, like, teenagers who are, like, you know, being absorbed in the culture that feels like the same sort of group of teenagers you'd see 10 years ago. And it's kind of amazing to see something like, you know, Dragon Ball or Naruto, you know, continue to, like, resonate with, you know, that young audience as opposed to them completely, like, saying, oh, that's old, and you know, just going on to whatever the new shiny shit is, which is like, you know, Steven Universe or whatnot.
Yeah, maybe it's not that old yet. It's only been like maybe a few years, I guess, or since like some major titles, like not a few years, but like a year, I guess, since like Naruto ended, or
no, it's been longer than that. Naruto ended in like 2014. It's been nearly 3 years.
Well, I guess it feels newer because there's so many spin-off things of Naruto. There's Boruto.
Yeah, it's interesting how Naruto doesn't want to die.
Yeah, Naruto doesn't want to die. He still wants to appeal to the news generation.
Although, I haven't been a fan of, like, most of the stuff I've seen out of it. But, I think it's, like, we're going to continue to see, like, I think, Dragon Ball with the Kai thing, where they're, like, re-editing it down to fit the manga's pacing. I think, like, for any long-running shonen series, that's going to become, like, a bigger thing. And I just think it's going to be rebroadcast again and again. And there's, like, so much material, so much mythology that it's just going to keep on going forever. I mean, the fact that, like, Dragon Ball still feels as relevant as it did 10 or 20 years ago is freaking amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising. It says a lot about Dragon Ball, actually.
And I think Attack on Titan is like we're going to be seeing that for a long time to come. Like we're not going to cover that much ground this season. Although these episodes have been pretty good, though. Do you have a favorite episode so far of the second season?
That's my favorite one so far. Probably the one previous to this, where the drunk guy was like fighting for his life. Just those two Survey Corps people were just trying to fight for those kids who didn't have any gear.
And then all their gears. That's what I mean by, like, Attack on Titan's a mean series. Like, he just wanted a drink, but, like, Rainer already drunk it all, so he can't even have a drink before he's eaten alive.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it was interesting, and
people like meme media. Like, that's why I think Game of Thrones has been so successful. Is that, like, people feel like this is dark times, and they like their media to reflect it.
Yeah.
So they like things where seemingly bad things happen to people who don't deserve it or are heroic, and traditional tropes are subverted to a degree.
Yeah, I feel
not
like
that Attack on Titan is entirely on the level of something like Game of Thrones, but
it has elements of it.
It's generally a mean show, a mean manga where not nice things happen to people and the characters are tormented.
Yeah, and lots of power struggles and sometimes like occasional power struggles.
Oh man, we're gonna when we eventually get the third season with the big arc, there's gonna be a huge political thing. I'm curious to see. I think that'll be really cool when it's animated.
All right. Well, I don't know. I've kind of run out of things to talk about with Attack on Titan, but I don't know.
It was a good episode. Don't you feel? Aren't you happy about Daz learning about poor Daz and Snow?
Daz. I don't even know who Daz is. It's just like some random dude.
Just a generic guy. We gotta save Daz. Daz didn't burn alive. Blah blah blah.
Some reason when I think of Daz, I think of like Metal Gear Solid.
There's a lot of interesting foreshadowing, though, where Ymir says, like, they don't want my existence to be existing, but I'm going to live for myself. And that ties into her backstory, which we'll not learn about anytime soon.
Okay.
And it also ties into Historia's backstory.
Yeah.
We'll be able to get into a little bit.
This kind of reminds me of Lost in some ways. You know what? Like, Lost, do you remember how Lost was, like, in the very beginning? Like, there was, like, kind of mystery level on top of mystery, like, revealed a little bit, and then there was more mystery on top of that with Lost. I mean...
The only comparison I'd say in terms of Lost is the fact that, like, you have the other people who are called the Others, who are, like, the island inhabitants, and they have their own agenda, which they don't fucking tell you about.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And that comparison is going to become even more clear in the next episode, where the big mind-blowing reveal happens. That's going to, like, everyone's going to go apeshit over.
I actually, now that I think about it, it's, like, really reminiscent of Lost. I'm wondering, I have some reluctancy about now, like, how they're going to reveal all the final mysteries of everything.
I will say that there is a better payoff to the mysteries in Attack on Titan than there is in Lost. Lost needed something big, and they just have more mysteries. Like, it was always like, we gotta go push the button because to save the world. Oh, what the fucking button?
And then it's like,
Island special. What is the point of the Man in Black? What is the point of the Polar Bear? What is the point of the Dharma Initiative and the Varanzetti equation? Where is this all going? It doesn't matter. It just matters if they go to non-denominational church and everyone feels better. Like,
And turns out they're
At
all
the end of
dead.
this season, though, you are going to be a little angry just because there are going to be a lot of lost mysteries, still in play.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that once you get to the basement, there is a suitably good payoff for it. And so it does, I'd say 80% of the mysteries have been revealed. There's still a little ambiguity here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But things are much more concrete, and they pay off much better than they do in Lost. Where it's just like, there's always some sort of vague thing. You have to protect the girl. You have to go back to the island. You have to do this thing, but I won't tell you why. And then someone points a gun, and then they march in the jungle.
I guess with Lost, it was like the mysteries were a lot of the time very abstract. Like, there's a lot of abstract reasoning behind the mysteries. Like, oh, I'm Jacob. I'm just like god of this island and shit. But like with this, at least I guess there's like some there's more structure to the story.
Physical, philosophical underpinning behind the Lost, where everything's supposed to be an allegory, man. You got to go read some philosophy to understand Lost.
And then we realize like they're all dead.
Because Jack has to go plug the light sink into the cork of the mystical bathtub at the center of the island for some fucking reason. Things are a little bit more concrete in Attack on Titan, which we will see in the very exciting next episode.
Yes, we'll see it then.
So, whoever's watching this, thank you for watching this video with me and Gorogregoro to hear us talk about Attack on Titan, Episode 5, Season 2. It was a fun discussion. Hopefully you'll come back to hear us muse about other things, because there's plenty of things to muse about. Click like, subscribe, do all that fancy other shit. Eventually I'll get a better microphone to up my production values. This is a step. This is a gradual step. This is going to climb up the YouTube ladder to hopefully achieve success.
Yes, climbing up the YouTube ladder and stuff. But this is like also, kind of fun as well, to talk about this stuff.
It is fun. It is fun. You should play these videos during your stream.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
Signing off.
All right.
Have a good one, peep.
See ya.